to start by going to MoxiPresent. Once MoxiPresent is loaded, we are going to click on Create New. This is going to be a seller presentation. And we are going to select No Template, Continue, and we can name it BPO for now, and Create. So by default, it's just going to try to take you through the steps to choosing a subject property and submitting the information, searching for comparables, reviewing that, adding in your numbers for the estimated net proceeds and the price range. But what we want to do is just go straight to pages. And again, we chose no template, so there are no pages added. We want to go to add page, and we're going to click add from library. All the pages that we need are going to be right here in the report pages section. So I'm going to click add on cover page, property summary, side-by-side comparisons, pricing analysis, net proceeds, and agent profile. So I have all the pages that I need added for my BPO. I'm going to click on pages again, and I have everything that I need. I have now created the template that I want to use for the future. At this point, you do not want to add in any subject property information. All we want to do is just review that our pages are in the correct order. So you should have the cover page first, the property summary. This is where your subject property information is going to be. Side-by-side comparison. This is where your comparables will show once you start using the template. Your pricing analysis is where your price range, suggested price range is going to show, and any remarks that you add. This net proceeds page will show your clients an estimate of their proceeds. And then the agent profile page should include your profile picture, your biography, and one more thing we can do is click on the marker next to agent profile page, and we're going to toggle on testimonial tree rating and reviews for web, for PDF, and then we're going to select how many reviews we want to be printed when we print this. And then I can exit out, and I have created the template that I want to use for the future. As you can see, it's synced over my testimonies. So now that I have my template created, it's going to be blank. I need it blank. So I'm going to save it as a template. And this is a seller presentation. And I'm going to click save. Now, when I am ready to use this presentation, I'm going to come into MoxiPresent. I'm going to click create new. I had it under seller presentations, continue. And where it says brokerage templates, I'm going to select my templates. And here is the template that I created, broker's price opinion. Continue, and then you can name it after whatever property or your seller's name. Make sure that the square footage is set to total finished square footage, and we're going to click create. So now it is going to take you through the normal steps of selecting your subject property, selecting your comparables, reviewing that, making any adjustments, adding in your price range and net proceeds, and then we can view the presentation. So when you are filling in a MoxiPresent presentation for the subject property, if this is a property that has been listed on the MLS previously, you can go back and look for that MLS number and copy the information over. If there is a photo on that old MLS listing, it will pop it in. If it is a property that has never been listed on the MLS before, you will need to submit in this information manually. A majority of it can be found on tax records or, talking to your seller about their property. Once I have this information copied over from the MLS, if it was an old listing, I want to make sure that the information is still accurate. If you are not sure if information is accurate, I would just remove it for now. And then I can click continue. The next page is going to ask me to search for comparables. By default, it is going to suggest properties or listings solely based on location. You can filter price, bed, bath, and other filters to get more accurate comparables, or you can do your research on the Triad MLS and then submit the address here or search for it by MLS number. For our purposes, I will just be selecting from the comparables that it shows here. You want to limit your selection of comparables from 3 to 4 listings for the presentation to be very sleek. Otherwise, too many photos or too many properties selected will show way too much information and will not present neatly. So I can do my research here, or I can do my research on the MLS. When you click on details, all of the MLS information is filtered through, and I can even look through all of the photos. So if you would like to search for comparables here using the filters, you can do that. Or again, you can research on the Triad MLS. Your subject property on the map is the star. Red is sold, yellow is pending, green is active. Once I have selected my comparables, I can continue. This next page is going to be where I can see an overview of my subject property and my comparables. I can add and edit adjustments, see your broker in charge about how to make adjustments for comparables. I can edit remarks, and I can rearrange the order. I can rearrange them by any of these categories. Once I am happy, I can continue, or if you are not happy with one of these comparables, you can remove it here with a little X. You can remove all of them if you'd like, and then you can click add more listings, which will take you back to the search tab. If I'm happy with my comparables, I can click continue. The next page is going to ask you to submit an estimated market value. MoxiPresent is going to give you an average price of sold comparable properties, and it will even give you a breakdown of the price per square footage of the sold properties. And then you can also create a range here. I can select a 2% range, calculate it, and then I can round my numbers off if I would like. Do whatever you need to do. You know your listing, you know your sellers, you know the market. Talk to your bigs if you need further assistance in selecting a price point for your property. For our purposes, I will just be submitting a random range. And click apply. At the bottom is where you can enter in your remarks. While we are still on this page, we want to head over to estimated net proceeds. Remember, there are two parts to the estimate page, the estimated pricing and the estimated net proceeds. Here, let's say that the property sells for somewhere in between the range. Let's just say 758, 500. If you know this information, you can fill it in. I'm just going to submit in random numbers for now. Listing office fee, this would be the commission for the listing agent, the commission for the buyer's agent. For now, we will use the standard 3% for each. We can estimate the escrow fees, title insurance, annual property tax, all of these numbers. Under custom costs, this is where we can add in the brokerage fee, and brokerage fee is capitalized. So once we are done filling in all of this information or whatever it is you have, then we can continue. And now we will be able to see the broker's price opinion presentation in action. So again, the cover page is my headshot, my information, and the photo of the property that was brought in from the Triad MLS. The property summary page contains all the information about the subject property. Again, if this was brought in from a previous MLS listing, it will add in those remarks. The side-by-side comparison will show the comparables. If we are presenting this through the digital platform, so on your iPad or on the computer, then you can click through all of these listings. You can click through the photos, and you can switch from map view to satellite view. And once you're in here, you can scroll through the comparables using the arrows at the top, pull up the information, and continue viewing the comparables. I like this format because it shows you everything without taking too much space, and it shows all of the information that you need to see very neatly. Another thing that you can do for your presentations is, as you are going through them, make sure you are reading the side-by-side comparison data so that you know whether a field is empty for all properties and you can remove it. So none of these properties have a pool. What I can do is click on the marker on the side-by-side comparison, and I'm going to take a look at the features section, and I'm going to uncheck pool and then exit out. So then that field will be removed since it does not apply to any of the properties. I don't need to see it. The rest of the information does look to be pretty relevant, or there is some input, maybe the sold date. That's up to you. I don't feel the need to see that. The days on market is pretty interesting as well. 108, 129 versus 2. This is a sold, pending sold. So those are, interesting numbers to look at. But I do want to remove the sold date. So again, I'll go back into the edit marker and I will look for sold date. That is under pricing section, and then exit out. Pricing analysis again will show that price range at the top and your agent remarks right below, and it will also give that breakdown for the price based on average sales. The net proceeds will show the number in green. If the number is negative, however much, you more than likely submitted a number in the wrong field, because there are fields that indicate a dollar amount and fields that indicate a percentage amount. So, what most likely happened is a dollar amount was submitted in a percentage amount field, and that threw the numbers off. So, I would just go back to estimate and adjust the numbers, double check that numbers are in the correct fields. And then agent profile, again, will show my biography and my testimonies. So I can use this presentation. I can click view it for web, view it for print portrait as well. And it presents very nicely. So this is what the PDF print version is going to look like. The cover page, subject property information, comparable, side by sides, continued, the pricing analysis, net proceeds, and the agent profile page with the printed out testimonies. I would take a look at this page and just review that I like how it prints. I might not use this last page because there was only one testimony on it. So now I know for future references that I can print it out with just 4 testimonies instead of 5. You can also send it and send a PDF portrait to anyone in your Moxie Engage CRM. And it will include the digital presentation that they can review information with. You can add a greeting, add a message, and send it to them. All right, thank you for watching, and let me know if there is anything I can help you with. Goodbye.